Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, Linda. Welcome, Jamie, Shira, Jenny. Yes, so good to see you. Sarah, Bree, Eric, Deanna, Mate, Angelique, Beth. So I would love to see your faces. If you want to pop on video, the recording's just going to have me. So you don't need to worry about that. It helps me connect with you and see you if you come on video. Welcome, welcome, Stephanie, Ashton, Beth, iPhone. Okay, amazing. So as people are rolling in, I would love to hear in the chat what brought you here? What are you looking for? What are you manifesting? I know you put this in your form, and I read through so many of them. I couldn't get through them all because there's like over 140 right now. But what's really cool is there's a common theme to a lot of them, to most of them, which doesn't surprise me. So I would love to hear, for those of you that are here live, if you can bring that into the chat. What are you manifesting and what brought you here? And then we will dive on in. I'm really excited to be with you all today. Thank you for spending a portion of your Sunday with me. Today, my intention is really to support you. So I'm going to give a lesson around manifesting with the quantum field. Then we're going to do some energy shifting practices together so that you in real time can shift. So if you're driving or not home right now, hopefully you can get to a place soon where you can be fully present. If not, you can do the practice on the replay. And then I'll open the floor for Q&A so that you can really get the most out of this class. Let's see what some people are saying. Shira, healthy, loving relationship. Amazing. Bree, really trying to manifest my dream life and better mental health. Incredible. Beth, having health and money issues. Linda, I want to manifest a better relationship with money. Eric, it's hard to explain, but want to be excited about wanting things again. Yes, like enthusiasm. I've been through that. It's a weird feeling, right? Um, Abundance, trying to manifest health and a happy life, more bookings and work. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that here. Okay. So just for us to connect energetically and fully drop in, let's do a short meditation together. Jamie says money without working so hard. Amazing. Okay, so getting nice and comfy. And if you're home somewhere safe, not driving, closing your eyes, allowing yourself to lean back in your seat or have your spine nice and straight, whichever feels more inviting for you. And taking a nice deep breath in through your nose, filling up your belly and chest, and breathing out. And repeating that a few more times as you breathe in, breathing fully into this moment, like you're drawing any thoughts or energy that's in the past or future or thought into your lungs, and exhaling, softening into your seat. And as you continue to breathe, relaxing your forehead, relaxing your jaw, relaxing your shoulders, letting them drop. Letting your belly relax and open. Feeling your butt on the seat beneath you, letting it almost like imagining your pelvic bowl widening and inviting more weight to be on your seat. Grounding your energy a bit. Relaxing into your seat. And feeling your legs. Feeling your feet if they're on the floor. And now bringing your awareness to your heart and inviting it to open like a flower. Maybe you imagine a flower opening in the front and the back. And if you can't imagine this or you don't see or feel anything, that's perfectly fine. Just inviting yourself to be open to this class and being open to what really resonates with you, and then leaving anything else that doesn't. And if you have a higher that you're connected to, God, universe, divine, angels, we'll speak to that higher power now. Thank you for guiding everyone to this class today to shift and flow into a life filled with more ease, peace, and abundance. Thank you for moving through their lives, their relationships, their careers, and giving them the most that they can get out of this class. And whenever you're ready, coming back to the room. Amazing. So as we flow through class, if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. And if they're not answered, we'll see if there's space to come back to them at the end. Or maybe you ask a question, it's the perfect time, and I'll go through it. So I know there's a lot of new faces here. So I'm going to share a brief, very, very brief summary of who I am, what I do, and why I'm so passionate about teaching this, okay? And then we'll shift the focus onto you. So what I do for work is I help people shift into new realities within the quantum field. I typically tell people that I meet on the street, I'm a manifestation coach, but I do a lot more than manifestation. About 6 years ago in 2019, I graduated from grad school. I studied sport and exercise psychology. I got my master's. I thought I wanted to go get my PhD, but everything in me said no. I was burnt out in my master's program. I wasn't making any money. I was like, I can't do this for another 4 to 6 years. So I'm out in the world for the first time ever, needing to support myself, needing to figure out where I want to live outside of a school system, needing to make friends. And it was a really dark period. I was healing from an eating disorder, depression, anxiety. I spent a lot of time like hermiting at home, wanting a fulfilling life for myself, a fulfilling career, freedom, joy, but not thinking it was possible. I have this vivid memory of me lying on the couch in what I call the dungeon. It was this apartment I had that it had like no windows in the room except for one skinny one. So it was really dark in there. And I remember lying on the couch, scrolling on Instagram, looking at all of these people traveling. And I was like, there's no way that's possible for me. I need to be a model. I need to be rich. I need to be this or that. Fast forward, I started learning about energy work in 2019, and everything shifted for me. It was this aha moment that you all probably had when you heard about manifestation. It's like, wait, there's something I can change inside of myself to make a shift in the world around me, and it gets to be quicker and easier and more simple. Amazing. So I began to deep dive into energy work and manifestation, studying, learning, joining courses, certifications, all of this different stuff. And within weeks, my life began to change. I went from when I started coaching as an entrepreneur, being burnt out, making no money, working morning to night, to very quickly making 6 figures. I went from feeling like it was hard to make friends in new cities to making new friends literally like I know I can go out right now. And if I want to make a new, really good friend, I will within a couple hours. I went from feeling really anxious, depressed, and insecure to feeling really confident in myself. Now, of course, there's like intricacies, and I can't summarize the past decade into the past 4 minutes, but I just want to give you a bit of background of the shifts I've made. And the reason that I'm so passionate about teaching this to other people is because I've been there. I've been there where it feels like money has to be hard and I need to burn myself out, then get a little glimpse of evidence that it works. So then I need to keep working harder and harder to make it happen. I've been there where it feels like I'm alone and nobody gets me. And where are all of the friends that love and support me? I've been there where it feels like there's never going to be a man that loves me for who I am. And because I've made the shift into a life genuinely beyond my wildest dreams and the skills and the energy techniques to know if anything's not going right, I can come within and shift into a reality where it's working itself out. I feel endlessly passionate about teaching this. And there was a time a few years ago where I I was like, I've manifested my dreams. I know I can create anything. I don't even need to work. Technically, I could manifest anything. And I knew that so fully that I was like, maybe I'll just stop teaching. But then my soul came in and said, no, Alesha, that's not your path. And then I got back on the road of teaching, and it brings me so much fulfillment. So beyond helping people shift into new realities that already exist in the field where your desires are there, I also help people go deeper into subconscious healing and trauma healing, attachment healing, because you may find, which some of you put on your forms, that you'll manifest something and then it goes away. Typically, this is peace, money, and relationships. Like it will come in and then it will go away. And the reason for that is often deeper trauma that is still creating reality beyond the thoughts that you're programming into your mind. It's like energy wounds and blocks that are in the body that are a part of your vibrational field that are still attracting situations that don't work. But what I think is really cool is I've been doing these client interviews with people who have worked within my manifestation courses, but haven't done the deeper trauma healing with me. And their life absolutely blossoms and thrives, their businesses, their relationships. So there is a time and place for that deeper trauma healing, but you'll know when you need to go much deeper into either something that's happened in your past and clear it from the body, or from your ancestors and something that may be in your DNA passed down from generations. Okay. So as I started to learn the energy within, as I shift it, it shifts my entire life around me. I started to play with reality and I started to choose, okay, what if I choose to fully live in flow? And it's really fun. It's been this really fun experience. Like, for example, just in the past few weeks, I've decided to shift into a reality where I'm teaching breathwork in town, where I'm surfing, and where I have even more incredible friends surrounding me because I recently moved to one of my favorite towns in Costa Rica. And now that it's my home base, I wanted to immerse myself more in the community and the environments here. And once I did my quantum shift practice, it was so cool. Like a friend texted me to go surfing. So I go meet her. She brought a board that was way too small for me. But then I meet these two guys who are like, hey, I have some longboards for you. Let's go surfing over here. And with the breath work, I get on my quad to drive into town. This girl asks for a ride. I pick her up. She's like, oh, I teach yoga at this one place. I said, you know what? I was just thinking I want to start teaching breath work. Within 24 hours, I'm hired to start teaching at the studio. And yeah, it's just like this is the flow that I'm talking about, where life, relationships, love, career, everything just gets to be this flow. And to shift more into a lesson of how this applies to you, I believe that we are all designed to flow. And anything else that's blocking you from that is an illusion that's been picked up and programmed from society, from parents, from generations. If we look at nature, we know that a deer is led to water, right? A deer instinctively, intuitively knows how to go find water. We know that um, the birds, like there's a bird building a nest over here. We know that the birds instinctively can go find the sticks to build the nest and the worms to eat or whatever the heck they eat, the bugs. But they're not asking ChatGPT how to find the water, right? They're not asking ChatGPT what to eat. They have an intuition, an instinct, and it flows. Nature flows. There's this really, really cool study in quantum physics where they put a plant in a pitch black room. And in one corner of the room, there's a swinging light. Okay. The light is just swinging and swinging and swinging and swinging. And what they found is that somehow, in some way, the plant shifted the light to swing on it. So the plant basically summons the light to swing on it so that it could survive. And I just think that's the coolest, like nerdiest thing in the world. This plant right here, it's because it's against the wall, you can see if I pull it out, maybe. It's growing towards the windows. You can't fully see it, but it's growing towards the windows. So I'm bringing up these examples because nature is intuitive. There is a consistent flow, and there aren't societies or Instagram or the news or parents that are teaching nature to have limits. To teach the deer, actually, you can only drink the water if you prove that you're worthy enough. There's actually a limited supply of this waterfall. When we look at energy, energy of love, infinite, abundant, always accessible. Energy of abundance, which money is energy, infinite, abundant, always accessible. You know, and I know sometimes it can be hard to wrap your head around the fact that money is energy. But if we look at it, who here like still uses cash to only pay? It's all just numbers. If we look at the stock market, it's like billions of dollars are being created out of thin air every day. Peace, it's an energy. And we can tap into these energies and circulate them through our bodies. And when we do that, we attract that into our life through the forms of feelings. Yes, like obviously peace is a feeling, but through the forms of people, experiences, opportunities. So for those of you that wrote on your form, you're brand new to manifesting and you're learning what it is, what I just shared about how we shift our inner worlds and then we attract what a reflection of that in our outer world, that is like manifestation 101. Okay. So I believe that we aren't just meant to flow, where, you know, the other day, so here where I live, it's really fun. I'm living out a childhood dream. We drive quads around like ATVs or four-wheelers, whatever you may call them. And the other day it wouldn't start. And I'm like, oh no, I'm meant to meet a friend for surf. It wouldn't start. And a part of me was like, I'll call a mechanic. I'll see if a mechanic can come to my house. But then I thought, what if I were to shift into a reality where the quad is working when I get home? So I go do my quantum shift practice. I come home. It still didn't start. And literally within 5 seconds, this guy like hears it and walks over, does one thing underneath I don't even know, the engine, and it works. And some of you may think that's a coincidence, but that happens left, right, center all the time for me. And it can happen for you too when you get into that state of flow and become only available for it. And I believe we're not just meant to flow, we're meant to overflow. So, who here, let me know in the chat, who here ever feels guilty about going after your dreams, choosing to be happy, desiring to manifest your dream life with today's climate in the world? Let me know if you resonate with that, because I surely have had to move through that. Yeah, sometimes it does feel selfish, right? Or you feel guilty. If you don't, amazing, stay there. Excuse me. So let's change that narrative together for anyone who feels guilty or selfish. Yeah. Yeah, you're not alone in that. So tell me this. If I am experiencing enough love, peace, and abundance to where I naturally, easily, and effortlessly can overflow it into the world, am I contributing to the planet? Am I making a positive impact in some way on others? Yes, 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 yes. Amazing. I want you to know that your frequency is your contribution. And we have no, trillion-dollar industries that are instilling and bombarding fear and stress and overwhelm onto us. And the truth is, if I allowed myself to be like, you know what, there are people suffering, so I feel like I should probably suffer too. I should probably be really afraid of what might happen in the future because it's the unknown. I should be afraid. I should be stressed because that's everyone's stressed. Like, I don't want to be that person that's like different from the crowd. I don't want to be judged. We would not be here right now. I'd probably be numbing out watching Netflix or something. When you allow yourself to dream and to go after those dreams, I believe that our dreams are this golden stairway to creating heaven on earth. Because you'll discover the more that you practice manifestation, there's no way to draw it to you energetically without embodying more love, peace, and abundance within. And when you do that, not only do your desires magnetize to you, but you become a kinder human in the world. You become more loving. You become more resourced to where right now it is the easiest thing in the world for me to support you. It is the easiest thing in the world for me to create content and teach breathwork classes and teach meditations and to create courses. And beyond work, it is the easiest thing in the world for me to go connect with people, strangers even, and be kind and loving and contribute to someone feeling better and good without coaching them, without trying to make them feel better, just by being myself. And you have that power as well. Think of a time when you feel really good and you're like confident, you're vibrant. You've probably done something recently that you're proud of. When we do something that we're proud of ourselves for, we are glowing. And like everyone is saying, wow, you're such a good vibe right now, or, you shift the energy in the room, you open the room. And so many people, it's so easy, like, to want to um, wait for someone out there to fix the world, right? It's this politician, it's ending this war. Like, I wish there was one thing, like at a snap of a finger, we could create world peace. But the only way I can imagine it is by individual humans, me, you, all choosing to dwell in a more frequency of peace and love and joy. And what I want you to know is this is so much bigger than you attracting more freedom into your life, more fun, more happiness. Your energy field goes way beyond your body. Your body is this temporary thing that you have for maybe 100 years if we're lucky. Well, I don't know if you want to live to 100 years. I have some friends who are like, I'm tapping out at 80. um, but your spirit, your body lives in your spirit. Your spirit wants to come alive. It wants to flow around you and out of you and in into others. And maybe your purpose in this lifetime is to be a healer, a teacher, a coach like me. Maybe it's to be a mother. Maybe you don't know yet. Maybe it's to write a book, or maybe it's literally just to live your best life and shine your energy to others without trying or without trying to change anyone. I have this friend who I ran into the other day, and we had a coffee and we just chatted for maybe 45 minutes about life. And he got home, he sent me this message. He said, I feel a bit vulnerable sharing this with you, but when I got home, my whole body was like vibrating and my heart was open and tears filled my eyes, and I just feel so inspired. And it wasn't me coaching him, it wasn't anything. It was just him being in my energy that day. Like, there are people who need your healing energy. So I encourage you, and I'm curious, for those of you who did say like you feel selfish or guilty, did that shift that for you? Do you feel like it's actually service to claim the life that you desire and to shift into the frequencies of love and peace and abundance? Let me know in the chat. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. Okay. So let's get into how to shift, and we'll do some practices together. It changed something in your heart. Wonderful. Yeah, I honestly have to remind myself of that one really often. Um, yeah, yeah, it's one that I'm constantly reminding myself of. And it's this motivation, this driving, motivating force for me to keep doing my practices and to keep you know what it is, and we dive deep into this in my course called Quantum Shift. It's like knowing that it's of service to be in a loving, abundant frequency motivates me to stop feeding energy vampires. Energy vampires, they also can be called energetic pendulums. Um, excuse me. If you're new to my classes, people who have been in my classes before, they know when I talk a lot, sometimes I'll burp. I don't know why. I think I swallow air when I teach. So yeah, that's why I do that. Um, but what I was sharing is knowing that it's of service inspires and keeps me um, not feeding the energy vampires. Energy vampires are like collective group thought that sucks you in. It's a lot of things we see in the news, a lot of things we see online. Um, Fear in and of itself is an energy vampire, but we'll dive deeper into that if you join my course, or we can dive into questions on it later on. I want to keep this super clear. Um, Eric says, conceptually, I understand this. I feel like what I realize is if we allow ourselves to feel the love frequency, you can't be in the guilt frequency. So maybe be willing to try it or activate it, even though it feels scary not to feel guilty and bad about living a best life. You've hit the nail on the head, Eric. Isn't it so interesting? Yeah. It's so interesting that it like can feel scary about feeling good because we feel like we should feel guilty. But it's true that we can't experience love and fear at the same time. So for those of you that feel like you do get sucked into what I call energy vampires, like what's going on in the world, how it's really sad and sometimes scary, and there's so much polarization. I so what some people do is they just won't look. But I want to be an active member in the world. I want to be relatable to my clients and my family, and I want to know what's going on. So what I do is I dwell in the frequency of love and peace and abundance. And that's like 80% of my job. And then maybe once every few days or once a week, I'll look at what's going on, or I'll have conversations about it, or people will tell me. And because I'm in that frequency, I can see what's going on without feeling the fear or like deep sadness. What you'll find is like they're like war, for example. That's just really, really sad. And what you'll notice is you can develop this energy skill where you can feel deep, deep love and sadness at the same time. You get to hold both. And when you do that, you don't collapse into the sadness and loop in it, which can, like, you can stay in that for days. And it's very healing to see what's going on in the world and pray about it. Another study that's really, really cool is they had two groups. So they had patients, okay, who were sick. And they had one group not pray for those patients and one group pray for the patients. They were two groups. And the people who prayed for the patients, those patients lived way, way, way longer. Then they come to find out at the end of the study, it was a blind study, that those people had already passed away years ago. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but because I feel like I was explaining it a bit in a confusing way. But essentially, it was a blind study where the participants didn't know they were praying for people that had already passed away. So this shows a little bit of the quantum, how what we do today, it doesn't just affect us, it affects other people and it affects people in the past. It's pretty trippy and really cool, in my opinion. Yes, it's all happening now. Okay, how can you do this in the frequency of love? So what we'll do right now is so there's a lot of like practices and methods to shift into a frequency of love, and then you can stabilize in that frequency. That will take discipline, commitment, and yeah, over time. But I want to do some practices with you guys today. Okay? So let's have everyone grab your journal, okay? Grab your journal and your pen, and I'll kind of teach you a lesson as we do this practice together. Deanna, I don't know if I said hi to you in the beginning, but if I didn't, hi, it's so good to see you. Okay, I'm gonna choose, I think this one. Okay, I did. Saying hi to a lot of people. Okay, so let's write at the top of your paper, the quantum field. The quantum field. Okay. Now, if you've seen any of my videos like this on TikTok or Instagram, you've seen me draw something like this, the quantum field. me just move this so I can see myself more clear. Okay, perfect. So obviously my writing's backwards, but you guys know what that says. So I want you to draw somewhere in like the upper left corner a circle. Okay, this circle is going to represent where you are in the quantum field. So go ahead and draw an arrow down. And what I want you to do here is I want you to write the experience that you're in right now that's not serving you. So is it a lack of money, lack of joy, the reason you signed up for this course? Or maybe you're in a place where you're like, my life is freaking flowing. I want to amplify it even more. That's why I'm in this course. So if that's you, just write that, like just write where you're at. It can be in a few words or a sentence. I'll give you a moment. Or you could, well, we'll do that in a moment. And when you're done, if you want to share in the chat what you wrote, feel free, then I'll know when people are complete. Okay, thank you for sharing that. So when you're done in the circle, I want you to draw a face. So maybe it's just like a sad face, maybe it's like a line across, maybe it's a happy face, like you know where you're at. But that's just going to be like a visual representation, okay? So that we can really complete the practice with clarity. Now, I want you to underneath, so let me do this, where I'm at. I want you to bullet list the feelings that resonate with that. So maybe it's like anxiety, fear, worry, annoyed, frustrated. Like, what are the feelings that you feel around this? You can also share that in the chat. And then when you're done with your feelings, write down any thoughts that you consistently think. So for example, if it's like not enough money, maybe it's like, I don't have enough. Where is it? Why isn't it here yet? How do I get it? If it's love, like, why don't they like me? Or where is it? Or you know what thoughts you often think. And make sure you save room if possible for the other side of the page. When is it my turn? Yeah, that's a good thought. Go ahead and share some in the chat if you're open to it, to generate some ideas for other people. And finally, list out some actions. So maybe it's overspending. Maybe it's never looking at your bank account because you're afraid of what will not be there. Maybe it's complaining. Um, maybe it's maybe it's scrolling on dating apps, but it's like stemming from a place of lack of love. Like what actions are stemming from this that you've been engaging in? Procrastination. What's wrong with me? If I just have money, everything will be okay. And I just really want to celebrate you all for looking at this because I know it doesn't like always feel good, but this is really important. We're making some of the unconscious conscious. And when we see where you're at and what uh, thoughts, feelings, and actions you've been engaging in to keep you in that frequency, we get to shift it. When we shift your frequency, we shift your life. So take another minute to wrap up. Okay. So what I'd say typical manifestation or law of attraction does is let me grab a different color. It says, okay, this is where you're at. So let's go ahead and try and attract what you want. Let's change your thought patterns. Let's attract something that is more desirable to turn this frown upside down. But what doesn't work there is if you're in the habit of engaging in all of these thought patterns, feelings, and actions, then you're just going to keep attracting more of that lack in whatever area of life it is. And this is where we see, like, if you go to do a manifestation practice that you saw is like a viral video on TikTok or something, and it's like, let's write out, I think one's called 369, like 3 times, then 6 times, then 9 times. I don't know. I don't do those practices because it's like you're trying to layer what you want on top of what's not there. On top of what you don't want. You're trying to layer what you do want on top of what you don't want. What I have found works way easier, quicker, and lasts longer is to say, okay, if this quantum field is real and all realities exist, and there's a me that already has what I want, already feels the way I want to feel, already is making the kind of impact I want to make, then what if I stop focusing on what's not working and I shift into a new frequency, a new version of me in the field? Very often I have people ask me, they'll say, like, I feel so stuck. I've been stuck for weeks, months, years. And when we look at energy and frequency, you're never stuck. You're just choosing the same frequency over and over and over again. You've just laid out the frequency you've been choosing unconsciously, probably because you don't want to be there. We choose our frequency through our thoughts, feelings, and actions, everything you just listed. So it's really great news that you're never actually stuck. You just need to shift into a new frequency within the field. And I know some of you, especially if you're new, you're kind of like, how? How does it work? How is that possible? How are there other realities? And I encourage you just to take what I'm saying and other stories you've heard as just like a tiny bit of evidence, but let your practice be evidence. Let you shifting your energy and then seeing a shift in your outer world be evidence. Like I know that you'll believe it once you experience it. And it's kind of like other laws that we don't fully understand, but we can apply them, right? The law of gravity. I don't know if any of us could physically explain how gravity, we're on this circle and like there are people on the other side of the world that are upside down to where we are, yet somehow we're all on this planet. standing right side up. Like gravity doesn't make sense, but we understand it and we use it in everyday life. This is very similar. It's in physics. It's really hard to fully understand. I've been nerding out on it for over 6 years and still it blows my mind. So let's just play and see what happens, okay? So let's choose another area of the field that is the opposite. So let's draw a circle on the other side of the page or wherever you have space. And let's draw on there a really happy face, okay? Now we're going to do something very similar. So draw an arrow down and write, what are you experiencing in that reality where you already have it? What are you experiencing? Are you experiencing more than enough money, total freedom, deep inner peace, the love of your life, sold out programs or business, a wait list where people want to work with you or buy your products, incredible friendships, a lifestyle that you love, maybe your own version of driving a quad and going surfing, which I know isn't for everyone. It's not everyone's dream life. Okay. And once you write out what you're experiencing, list what you're feeling in that reality. And let's get some of these shares going in the chat to generate some ideas. So where are you? What are you experiencing? I mean, that's what I mean by where are you? And what are you feeling? And this is the fun part, like let yourself dream. If you feel like a sparkle inside of yourself, a little excitement, like let yourself feel that. That's energy shifting and moving. Abundant energy, feeling peace and free, gratitude. Yeah, gratitude's a good one that I haven't mentioned. Gratitude. What else? What are you guys feeling? Grateful, peaceful. Yeah, it's like this fullness, like I'm not lacking. I don't need anything. So let me manifest from that place of like, if I don't need anything, what wants to come to amplify me in the world? Magic all around me. Yeah, so I encourage you, Shal Mai, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, you and anyone else who writes like not feeling fearful, let's just shift that into what would that be? So instead of saying not, let's say like, what's that? Not feeling fearful, maybe it's trusting, safe, safety. Yeah. Do you feel the difference? Like even just saying not feeling fearful versus saying trusting, do you feel the frequency difference? It's very different. Yeah, great. Let's see. I'm experiencing financial flow and all of my debts are paid off. Also, I'm able to walk with no pain or stiffness. I'm feeling relief. Bree, calm, peace, financial stability, job of my dreams, true freedom, healthy mindset, feeling happy, fun, safe, authentically me. Nicoletta, expanded, aligned. Jenny, playful. Playful. Yeah. Okay. Amazing. So these are your feelings. So now from these feelings you're generating, you're listing, what are some of the thoughts you're having? Thoughts. What are some of the thoughts you're having? I really like these examples. So let's list them in the chat again. This will be helpful for everyone. Maybe the thought is, wow, I am so grateful. Yeah, here we go. Thank you for my life. How did I get here? Star emoji. I love my life. I'm so grateful I'm living my dream life. Everything I want flows to me. I can't believe I finally did it. Yeah. Let's like, as you imagine being in that reality, like from that place of fullness, what are you even wanting to do with your time? Like for me, what I find in my thoughts, like it's really like, how can I be of service? Because I'm full, I'm overflowing. Like, how can I like connect with people? But I'm also a teacher. So I'm like, how can I create? How can I like support more people? What are some more thoughts you guys are having in that reality? Just wanting to share it with others. Yeah. So you know that you're in an abundant frequency when generosity emerges. The energetic signature of abundance is generosity. It's like I have so much, I'm overflowing. I am secure, content. Yeah, content. Content, it's interesting, right? Because it's not a very sexy word, but it feels so good. Like it actually feels amazing to not always be desiring. Because a lot of desires come from a feeling of lack. And content is like, I'm good. I'm just gonna chill here outside in nature, sip my tea or coffee. Jenny, like I just want to kiss everybody on the lips, anywhere. Oh, I love that. That's your way of giving. Your generosity. You're like my lips when I'm that's funny. Okay. And now let's move this to the third part, which is action. So, what actions are you taking in this reality? And this is going to be completely different for everyone. So, really let yourself tap into you. For some of you, it's going to be I am traveling the world full time, working 2 hours a week, which is something that I created um, myself for at least 2 years, 2021, 2022. But then big part of me was like, I want to serve more. I want to work. I actually wanted to work more. Maybe some of you in that reality, you're retired. Maybe some of you are um, teaching at a school. Maybe some of you are making love to your life partner. Um, yeah, really tuning into yourself here with your actions and then sharing with us in the chat. What do you see yourself doing? Traveling, creating, sharing, smiling. Yeah. Yeah, when I keep tuning into the next level version of me, it's interesting. I keep seeing myself dancing way more often and like being like laughing even more. Um Creating beautiful spaces and experiences, taking daily nature walks, traveling, being spontaneous. I think I'd have full control over my time and be working toward childhood dreams, like finally taking singing lessons. Yeah. Giving myself permission to do and create anything. Amazing. Okay, from this place, as we're tapping into that reality, who benefits beyond you from you being here? You can write this down and then share with us in the chat. Who benefits from your vibrant, joyful, overflowing energy? Everyone around me. Yeah. Everyone I meet or talk to, everyone I cross paths with. Yeah. Your friends, your kitties. your clients, your pets, your family, your community, your future friends, family, you know, current and future, and even strangers, like genuinely. Your energy field, again, it goes way beyond your body. Like strangers, just from a simple eye contact, like they will benefit from you shining bright. Oh, I have chills. Anyone else get any chills during this class? I feel them now. Amazing. Okay. I do believe it heals our past as well. It does. And, you know, some science shows, I forget what the term is called. It's called something. But science shows that when we heal within ourselves, it affects the bloodline around us, especially like if you're a woman, it will affect your sisters, your mom, and your great grandma, all the way through 7 generations back, which is super trippy. You have deja vu right now, like crazy. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So let's take this even further. And now we're beginning to tap, we're beginning to sense. And actually, I want to know in the chat, how are you feeling now that you're tapping into this? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling anything is welcome? What are you feeling right now as you're playing in imagining this new reality? Hope, peaceful, hopeful, chills, peace. I immediately felt the most inspiring, comforting energy after the meditation. The energy is insane. Amazing. Yeah. Oh, I feel chills again. Yeah. Connected. Beautiful. And I'm curious, before we move into the next section, there's no right or wrong answer here, but as you tune into this parallel reality version of you, do you feel any fear or resistance to it? Imagining that. So random, but there have been 3 times you said the exact word or phrase I'm writing as I write it, feeling skeptical, doubt, and hopeful. No, no fear. I feel a little scared. Okay, that's important. That's funny. Okay, so whether you are or are not feeling fear, let's do a practice together. Yeah, to do a shift. So let's flip to a new page and let's actually let's rip that page out so that you can discard it. You can discard it. And what I want you to do is take a moment to really imagine that version of you and just write out any fears that you may be feeling. Okay? If genuinely none come up, great. Like just chill. But I'd say a strong majority or a majority of people may notice some fears come up. I'll give you an example. Actually, I'll let you guys journal first and then I'll give you an example, okay? So maybe there's a part of you that's afraid of being seen. Maybe you're afraid of being judged by family members. Maybe you're afraid that you'll manifest it and then it will all go away and you'll be mad at yourself. Like, let's just write out some of these fears. This is important because it can unconsciously block you if you are manifesting it, yet you're afraid of it. Yeah, and then you can share with us in the chat. Afraid of losing what I manifest. Yeah. Maybe you're manifesting love and you're afraid that you guys will like a love as in a romantic partner, and you're afraid that you guys will break up one day and you'll be heartbroken. Losing money, clients, building. Afraid that I'm not good enough. I could never really do that. That it's impossible. Yeah, again, I want to celebrate you all moving through this because it can feel a bit sticky. Afraid of being overbooked and then really tired. Yeah, like burning out. Yeah, it's like I'm calling in all of the clients, but what if I'm overbooked and I actually don't want that many? And I get exhausted and then can't serve them to the best. I'm afraid my energy is being siphoned again by others as I am a giver. I'm afraid I won't be able to get out of my own way. Yeah, what else is coming up? Eric says, I love feeling the difference in my body as we read through these. Yeah, some of them will resonate with you. You'll feel like that ping, and some of them you'll be like, I don't feel that. Um, that it's not real, which is weird. Like manifesting isn't real, and I've been fooled, even though I've experienced great manifestations. Yeah, that's trippy, right? I've had so many times where it's almost like I get pulled back into being so human. Like by human, I mean like believing that reality is created only through matter. And then I'm like, whoa, wait, no, it's created through energy. Yeah, that's totally normal. That I won't be able to perform. Yeah. Okay. So continuing to list whatever's coming up. And I want to ask you all, um, yeah, my question for you is, so okay, typically when we fear something, we don't actually fear what may happen. We fear feeling the sensations of it happening. So here's what I mean. I told you all that recently I wanted to shift into a reality where I'm teaching breathwork in person here. I've been teaching breathwork online for 6 years. I teach kind of as I travel the world here and there if I'm there long enough. But now that I'm living here and this is my home base, I was like, okay, I want to start teaching breathwork in the world. This is a thought that bopped around in my head since I got here August 1st. It's now October 27th, August, September, 3 months. It wasn't until last week that I was like, I'm going to shift into this reality. And I started to wonder, why hasn't it happened yet? Because I've been kind of thinking about it. And then I realized I had some deep fears. I had a fear of um, I had a fear of being seen. I don't know why, but it's like I'm seen online. It's like my online world. But in real life, it comes with a whole other thing. It's a small town. I'll start being known as the girl who teaches breath work. Like there was just so many things that I needed to get clear on. I had a fear of, well, it was really the fear of being seen was another one of my fears. Teaching breath work. It's like I've moved through them so fully that I'm like trying to find them again. Um, yeah, I had a fear of basically being judged. I really I love what I do, but I've also designed a way to do what I do and then fully be living my life. I don't necessarily want to talk about work outside of work. That's why I love my online world. Then I go out into life and I'm just living. So I had this fear that people would like always want to talk to me about work stuff out in the world here. So I got clear on these fears and then I realized I'm not actually afraid of these things. I'm afraid of feeling the sensations of them. And that's really what we fear. We're afraid of feeling. So I was afraid of feeling the sensations of being judged, the sensations of what it's like when someone wants to talk to me about work and I need to tell them actually like well we can talk about this at this time or I'm just living life right now. It's always a sensation. So I'm going to ask you all, are you willing to feel the sensations if and only if these fears happen? Are you willing to feel the sensations of being judged? Are you willing to feel the sensations of uncertainty as you're manifesting? Are you willing to feel the sensation of fear that you won't perform to your best ability? Let me know in the chat. Because if you're not willing to feel, then you're going to unconsciously block yourself. Your fear is always going to try and keep you as safe as humanly possible. And as you're out there manifesting your best life, you're going to come up against fears. And you just need to be willing to feel the sensation. And guess what? It's way less scary than you think. When I decided to call in that breath work, like teaching in person, I just I have this practice that I move through, and I was like, I am willing to feel seen. I am willing to feel judged. Fuck it. Like people are going to judge me anyway, so why not do what I want to do? I am willing to have people in the community know what I do for work. And then I was like, wait, that'd actually be kind of cool. Like I could have in-person clients and like I would become someone who's more boundaried. Yes. Yes. Wow. Perspective shift. I'm willing. I'm willing. It's weird to say no. Jenny, fuck it. Yes. Yeah. So if that's you, go ahead and um, let's actually take a moment and just release these fears. So let's rip it up and maybe speak to a higher power of yours, God, angels, universe, quantum field. If you don't have one, if you're not connected to one, if one's new for you, just say like energy field of love. I'm doing an experiment right now. Thank you for releasing these fears from my energy field. I am willing to feel. Guess what? The more that you're willing to feel discomfort, the more that you'll be willing to feel pleasure. Because a lot of people think they want a lot of pleasure and joy. And then they start to experience it and it feels really uncomfortable. It's like their capacity to feel good is this small. And then they self-sabotage because they're used to feeling like this. So we want to expand your capacity to feel in the flow, to feel the pleasure, to feel the joy. And what's amazing is as you allow yourself to move through the emotions, the fear, you'll realize you're really, really safe in your body and in the world. And the world begins to reflect that safety back to you. And you then have a more space to expand your capacity to feel pleasure. If you've ever done a breathwork class with me online, I would assume, I always leave you at the end of class saying, now I invite you to rest in this frequency of abundance and connection for as long as possible. And everyone begins to notice how quickly it is that they go to a habit or behavior that collapses them or shifts them back into like a frequency of stress. So this is why I said it takes commitment and discipline and devotion to notice where you're addicted to feelings that don't feel good and to shift, to shift, to shift. Wow, tears, I'm willing to feel. Amazing. Deanna, I've never heard you say that it's not things, it's the feeling that we're afraid of. It hits so deep, so willing. Beautiful. Yeah. Let's be willing to feel together, you know? Especially if like we already feel when we look at the news, why not feel when we're living our lives and making a difference, making an impact, following our heart? So let's flip back to this page, and underneath your new reality, write, I am willing to feel. I'm willing to feel. And move through my fears with courage. Courage is a choice. Courage is a choice. Scary plus exciting is magic. Really, really, really is. Often courage is the energy shift from fear into love, from lack into abundance. So I needed to be courageous and tell myself to complete the story that I'm willing to feel I'm willing to feel all the fears that I thought I had. And that's when that quantum manifestation happened within like 2 hours. Within 24 hours, I was hired. I taught my first class in person here yesterday. It was amazing. And everyone's messaging me yesterday and today, thanking me for it. Um, yes, this is what I meant by I feel the difference of my thoughts in my body, like so dense and draining when I feel unworthy or not good enough. And that thought already feels lighter too. Amazing. Amazing. So this is really exciting. I'm super excited for you all. I originally I intended to do a meditation with you all, but I feel we have made a big shift together, and I want to save time for some questions, um, and to tell you about a course which is optional if you want to go into something deeper with me. So, if you haven't already checked out my free manifestation meditation bundle, I'll put it right here. And I encourage you to start doing these. Like do one today. There's 6 meditations, I believe. Um, People love them so much. Free downloads. Okay, let me just make sure this is the right link. Yeah. So inside you'll find a quantum leap meditation, collapse time and quantum leap, breath work to release anxiety and shift from fear to love, highest self manifestation meditation to draw your desires to you, dwell in the field of abundance, breathing meditation. Yeah, there's some really, really good ones in there. And this is a free resource for you. For those of you that are like, I want to go all in and really devote my energy to this. Um, Deanna says some of my favorite breathworks are in there. Amazing. Yeah, Deanna's been a client of mine for a few years. I recently interviewed her. She has an incredible story, and gosh, she is a quantum leaper for sure. Um, yeah, so for those of you that I know are asking or wondering how to, like, what to do next, you want to embody this energy and continue to shift into it, shift into it, shift into it. You want to make your inner world of this new reality more real than what you see with your eyes open. And when you do that, you'll experience shifts and celebrate every little moment of something happening, a synchronicity, something magical, something like, huh, is that from me shifting my inner world? Celebrate each of them, claim each of them, because what's happening is you're receiving evidence that by shifting your energy within, the world shifts around you. Please, if something happens today or tomorrow or this week, message me, email me, because it would not surprise me. And I love hearing those stories. Yes, Jenny says romanticize the fuck out of your life. Because as you collect this evidence, it's gonna teach your subconscious mind, which is really running the show, that your energy shifts your reality. And at some point, you just can't you would never not believe that your energy creates your life. Like there becomes a point where it's like, no matter what happens out there, I know how to shift it in here. But you just need to stack the evidence. And for those of you manifesting the bigger things, sometimes it's hard to get your mind to fully believe, like, yeah, I can manifest that incredible career or incredible relationship when you've had so much evidence that it doesn't flow for you. So just take some of that pressure off and just continue to shift on your inner world, your inner world, your inner world. Now you have the mapping of what you're feeling and thinking and doing. So focus on that, like embody this and notice when you come here and shift back. You know, if there's something not going right in my life, relationships, career, that it's not ideal, I don't do anything out there. I come within and I recreate this, and problems get resolved. Um, it's almost like when we're here, we're like opening the flow for God, the divine, to, oh gosh, that's not an arrow, to shower us with blessings, to even give us the brilliant ideas that we are looking for. Okay, so maybe what I'll do here is I'll tell you about a course that you can join if you feel the call. And then I'll open the floor for some questions so that we can be sure to close on time. Okay. So let's see, maybe I'll pull up my website. So as I shared earlier, I interviewed Deanna and some other clients of mine who have been working with me anywhere from a few years to a few months. And after getting their feedback of what they manifested, abundance, flow, going from quitting their jobs, barely having any money, to 8th month wait lists, um, 5-figure months, improving their relationships. What's really beautiful is a common theme for all of them is that it wasn't the physical manifestations that made them happiest. It was something that they didn't even know they were looking for. It was learning how to drop into that place of intuitive guidance, peace, flow, love, and everything else is a cherry on top. So as I was interviewing them all, a lot of them have taken multiple courses, master classes, trainings. I was like, what if there's a reality where all of that is collapsed into an 8-week course? And that's what I've designed. And what I'm really excited about is I've never taught a course like this where there are a lot of enrollment options to support people at different levels.